Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao, and this is One News Now. For all those with sweet tooths and fond of eating junk food, you may have to cut back on your consumption or else shell out more for your favorite snacks very soon. The government wants to tax salty treats and sweetened beverages to earn more revenues for the national coffers. Mobile journalist Pam Vasquez with the details.
If the Department of Finance will have its way, prepackaged foods that do not have enough nutritional value should be taxed by 10 pesos for every 100 grams or 10 pesos per 100 milliliters. These includes confectionaries, snacks, desserts, and other treats that exceed fat, salt, and sugar content as specified by the Department of Health. The DOF also wants additional levy on sweetened beverages as much as 12 pesos per liter from 6 pesos per liter under the train law. The Marcos administration is looking at revenue of 76 billion pesos, and this is only in the first year of implementation of the measure. Aside from additional funds for the government, the imposition of new taxes is also aimed at curbing the citizenry's appetite for unhealthy food. The proposal is meant at cutting junk food consumption in the country by 21%. That could in turn prevent diseases and disorders from poor diet like diabetes, hypertension, stroke, and obesity.
Pag mas mataas kasi yung mga ganyang diseases, mas mataas din po ang requirement ng national government to care for the population. So I think it makes sense. You increase your revenue, and at the same time you help the population to be healthier.
For one economist, the DOF's proposal will have a huge impact on the country's tight fiscal situation.
Makakatulong yun kasi marami na utang yung ating bansa mula nung pandemya. Sobrang laki, no? May 6 trillion so far since 2020.
Social economic programs likewise stand to benefit from additional taxes from junk foods. However, the recipients of the fund could just be the same population that will bear the brunt of more expensive salty and sweet products. Many poor families rely on the cheaper salty food items like noodles for meals, while thousands of them also hawk salty and sweet snacks in the streets for livelihood. It is not yet clear when higher taxes for junk foods will kick in, but the government wants to get the measure going by way of legislation and implemented as soon as possible. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez, we are One News.
In other news, the Philippine National Police is set to hire former members of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, or MILF, and the Moro National Liberation Front, or MNLF. Police spokesperson Jean Fajardo told One Balita Pilipinas that about 400 of the 1,000 former rebels who applied will be taken in. She also assured that prospective recruits will go through rigorous screening. Major Fajardo added that MNLF and MILF members who will be hired will be assigned in the Bangsamoro region.
Dadaan po sila sa complete background check para tignan din po kung may mga previous records po sila na maaari po maging ground na sila po ay ma-disqualified sa pagpasok po sa pambansang pulisya. Itong papasok ma'am na mga dating miyembro po ng MILF at MNLF, exclusive po sila na ma-assign po sa Police Regional Office sa po. Yung makakapasa po ma'am at makaka-qualify po dito at mapifill up po yung 400 slot ay doon po sila ma'am ma-assign sa Bangsamoro Autonomous Region.
We're pausing for a quick break. One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Around 500,000 households in Metro Manila could experience water service interruptions in the coming weeks. The Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage System, or MWSS, explained that this is because of lower allocation from the Angat Dam. In July, Angat reserves shared to water concessionaires will be slashed to only 50 cubic meters per second from the current 52 cubic meters per second. Recall that water levels in the Angat Dam remain low despite rains the past few weeks. With this, Maynilad and Manila Water are now working to provide alternative sources of water for the capital region.
Pinaghahandaan po natin na kahit mabawasan po yung alokasyon ng MWSS sa Angat Dam ay magamit na din po natin. Ang timetable po natin sa mga konsesyonaryo ay December 2023. Pero may mga in-implement na po kami ng mga phase 1 nitong mga proyekto na to na naka-ready naman na po na pwede na po i-operate.
And it is the NBA off-season, but some teams are using this time to beef up their rosters for the upcoming season. The Boston Celtics acquired center Kristaps Porzingis from the Washington Wizards via a 3-team trade with the Memphis Grizzlies. Boston will also receive 2 first-round picks. The Celts let go of point guard Marcus Smart, who will now be playing for the Grizzlies. Meanwhile, the Wizards will get Tyus Jones from Memphis, as well as Danilo Gallinari, Mike Muscala, and 1 draft pick. Meanwhile, days after getting traded to DC, 12-time All-Star Chris Paul has been shipped to the Golden State Warriors. The Dubs will give away Jordan Poole, Ryan Rollins, and 2 future picks for the point guard. And the San Antonio Spurs have made it official. French star Victor Wembanyama is its first overall pick for this year's NBA draft. Wemby, who is dubbed as the greatest NBA prospect since LeBron James, is entering the NBA with enormous expectations to become basketball's newest sensation. The 19-year-old selection has been a foregone conclusion for months, ever since he declared his intent to join the draft. Wembanyama brings in a package of skills that cover the shooting and ball handling ability of a guard, paired with the size of a center. At 7'4", Wemby is the first overall pick by the Spurs, after likewise generational talents David Robinson and Tim Duncan. The Spurs have struggled since the departure of the famed Big Three, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker, and later on, Kawhi Leonard. After missing the playoffs only once, from 1990 to 2019, the Spurs have not been in the postseason in the past 4 years. One News Now will be back with the latest stories at 6:30 p.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.